So I've already primed my eyes with my Urban Decay Primer Potion, just, you know, the original in the purple metallic package, and I've already done my face to save. So, the first thing I'm going to do on my eyes is I'm going to go into my Naked 2 palette, and I'm going to take the shade Foxy, just on a really fluffy brush, and I'm just going to apply that as a wash of color, just to take the tackiness down from the primer. And I'm also going to blend that all the way up to the brow bone as well. Then to start to define my crease, I'm going to take Cork from MAC, which is this one right here. And just on the same fluffy brush, I am just going to kind of just messily, sloppily apply that into my crease. This color is just a couple shades darker than my actual skin tone, so it's kind of like I am just contouring my eyelid. And you can be as neat or as sloppy as this as you want. This step really doesn't matter. I mean, it does because you're defining your crease, but it's just really going to be there to act as a transition shade and just to help blend everything. Then with my Real Techniques shader brush, I'm just going to go back into Cork, and I'm going to run that, I need a mirror for this part, I'm going to run that on my lower lash line. And I chose a little bit of a bigger brush, excuse me, I guess I'm trying to lose my voice or something, but I chose a little bit of a bigger brush because I want it to be a little more smoky on the bottom, as you all well know. I quite enjoy the smoky lower lash line. So you can use a smaller brush and it will be a little more controlled, but I like the bigger brush. I'm going to go into this pigment from Jessie's Girl, which these are available at Rite Aid. It's the only place I've ever seen them. And this is the color Brown Sugar. It is a very warm red toned matte brown. And again, picking up a fluffy brush, this one's a little more tapered and a little more packed, densely packed. I'm having a hard time talking today. And I'm just going to pick up whatever is in my lid and tap it off. And then I'm going to mainly focus this in my crease, being a little more precise with it, but not too much because I do want a smoky eye. And as you can see, that just adds a lot of warmth to the eye. Then going back with my shader brush, I'm going back into that Jessie's Girl pigment, and I'm going to run that pretty much on the outer half of my eye, making sure to blend it in, of course, but just really focusing it on the outer half of the eye. Then going in with that first fluffy brush I used, I'm just going to dip into this pressed powder from MAC. It's in the color NC20 if anybody cares, and I'm just going to run that around the edges of the eye, just really making sure that that is blended and there's no harsh lines around the edge of the makeup at all. You can use a cream toned shadow to do this, or a shadow that's very close to your skin tone to do this. I do recommend using a pressed powder to do this though, because it is going to be your skin tone, or it's not even going to have any pigmentation to it, because you are running this all the way around the eye and you don't want to have like shimmer and stuff like all the way around your eye, because that could be weird. Realizing I hadn't filled my brows in, I went ahead and did that, and to do so I used the Urban Decay Brow Box in the Brown Sugar shade, and I applied it with the the Real Techniques brow brush. And I have to say that if you have this in your brushes and you're not really sure what to do with it, I would say practice filling in your brows with it. As you can see, it is kind of like this really thick angled brush, and once you get the hang of using this, this will be like your best friend for filling in your brows. I really love it. And then I used my e.l.f. clear brow gel to set all that. Now at this point, you could pretty much put on a gel liner, you could put on a black one, a brown one, or you could leave it like this if you are digging it like this. But I would need a little bit of liner in my life, so I'm going to go in with my MAC Teddy Eye Kohl, and I'm just going to run that on the top lash line quite messily. This whole look is about being messy with it, and it all comes together. So once you have that on, I'm picking up my Real Techniques accent brush, and I'm just going to smudge all of that out, just to kind of make it look a little more like a shadow, and not so much like liner. Oh, throw in my brush. And on the outer corner, I am lifting it a little bit. So then, because for me this step is never really optional, I'm going to pick up my angle brush from, and this is a MAC 263, and I'm going to go into Carbon here, which is a matte black, and I'm just going to press that into my lashes. Again, you can skip this step if you don't feel it's necessary, but for me, I feel it's necessary. So if you are going to put the black in the root of your lashes, make sure you're not covering up the brown liner that you put down if that's what you chose to do and not use a black. Just throwing that out there. Then to open up my eyes a little bit, I'm going to take my Rimmel Scandal Eyes in Nude and run that in my waterline. You can, again, use a brown if you want to, but since this is an attempt at a daytime appropriate look, I'm going to use a nude one. And you can see it kind of looks a little wonky, but it does open up the eyes a little bit. Then, because this look is pretty much completely matte at this point, I'm going to take another Jessie's Girl pigment, and this one is in Penny Arcade. As you can see, it is a very coppery gold. And just on a stiff flat brush, I'm just going to take it on the end again, dipping into what is ever left in the cap. And I'm going to take and apply that on the inner corners. So this is kind of going to act as our inner corner highlight, but sparkle. Just be very careful to press and not rub, because this is a glittery pigment, so you will get a ton of fallout if you are not being careful. So just take that and press that in, and then I'm going to go a little bit in, well, I'm pretty much going to cover the inner half of the lower lash line with this pigment, meeting up with the brown sugar pigment that we used earlier. Just like that, just for a pop of sparkle and a pop of color. It's still daytime appropriate, but it still gives you that kind of unique pop of color. As you can see, I went ahead and curled my lashes and applied mascara, and the mascara that I used today was the Mally Instant Impact Mascara. Very skeptical about this product as well, but I now love it. So for lips today, and I think today I'm going to use the Cleopatra one. Yeah. And I'm just going to apply that quite lightly to my lips, just kind of for a little bit of color. So there's that. So you could do a like nude, you know, pinky lip, but I want a little bit more red. So I am going to go in with the Anne Juliet shade, which is a coral red. tone, and just I'm going to dab that over the top. Which makes it a little bit more orange, but you know, that's okay. And I think I need a gloss, so I'm going to find one and I'll be right back. Then over top of this, I'm going to apply Lacy from Buxom, which is, again, in the same family of that orangey tone, corally tone. So that is my finished daytime appropriate look. I don't normally do things like this. This is very different for me. Very light eyes, very coral toned lip. I don't generally do a coral toned lip. I generally do like something really dark or really red. But you know, this change is good. Something different. So I hope you guys enjoyed this and found this helpful, and I will see you all in my next video. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.